I'm Kathy White. I know quite a lot of you, and I'm looking forward to getting to know the rest of you over the weekend. Yes, I'm the Waikato Regional Councillor for Taupo Rotorua. I have been for the last 5 years, and I'm also the Environmental and Services Performance Committee Chair. I've been involved in things to do with toxins for probably close to about 18 years, and probably most of you see me online making comments and things like that. What I wanted to do though today is because I'm a councillor, I wanted to sort of share some things with you specifically to do with that role, mainly because there are lots of ways that you can have influence in terms of as a councillor, but also you having contact with your councillors. But I just also wanted to let you know some things that I think you can do. From my perspective, some of the things that I've actually been able to do have been because of relationships with other people. So knowing people like Sue Gray, for instance, has been hugely invaluable, but also getting to know what is possible through council and what's not, and what are the right times to do things through council, and how to get yourself in front of council is quite important. So from my perspective, it's really important to have people in the community actually making submissions at times that are really important. Things like a regional pest management plan, that basically covers a long period of time, and it means that anything that goes into that plan, whether it's to do with delegated authority, which doesn't mean anything to a lot of us, but basically what that means is it gives permission to staff to make decisions rather than councillors making decisions. So it's really important that you as members of the public actually get involved in the regional pest management plan and make comments on those things, because a lot of things like delegated authority take power away from the people that you've elected to make decisions about things that matter to you, like whether or not 1080 is used, whether or not people actually go out and actively look for trappers to do work in their area, and all kinds of things which matter to you. So I think it's really important to actually know when those things come up and be active. I know Jim Hilton has been very active in things like that, the regional pest management plans, and yeah, they're really, really important things. The other thing that I really want to share is how important it is to think about coming at things from the sides rather than directly. A lot of people, in terms of 1080, I don't know whether you feel like this, but the minute you mention the word 1080, it's like saying Voldemort in the Harry Potter books. It's like if the shutters come down, the barriers, basically you're suddenly somebody that someone doesn't want to talk to because you've mentioned the word 1080. There are a whole load of reasons why we should be concerned about 1080, but sometimes you actually have to talk to people about topics to do with things like the importance of clean water and the importance of uncontaminated kai, etc. And maybe that's actually involving all kinds of things, not just 1080, but also brodifocum, a whole load of toxins. And so it can be useful if, for instance, you know that your council has a Healthy Rivers project that they're working on, or maybe the government is actually talking about the national policy statement to do with freshwater management. Those are actually places where you can have something to say about 1080, because all of us are concerned about our water. And I think it's really important to think about this, because I know that there is a proposal at the moment for a referendum question. I think it's really important that when you think about something like a referendum question, that you think about what is the question that's going to get most people in support of it. If you have a question which is going to polarise people, you may not necessarily get the outcome that you want. But for instance, just to share a story that happened in our council, so Clyde Graff was also a councillor on my council, and in that last term, we put forward a whole load of things to try and get change to do with 1080 through our council. Some of them were successful and some of them weren't. But what amazed me was we had a Māori councillor for Ngātai Ki Uta. He actually thought really carefully about how to get a good outcome on 1080, and what he did, because he wanted the buy-in from all of those councillors, was he tried to think about what they all cared about, and he ended up putting forward a proposal which was to do with, we're going through regional plan change at the moment, and what he did was say that he wanted it included within the scope of that plan change, that he wanted our staff to include within that scope looking at how to better protect waterways during 1080 drops. And what I thought was so clever about that was that everybody wants clean water. Everyone wants to protect waterways. There wasn't a single councillor there who voted against it. And it was because it wasn't possible. You can't vote against having good quality water and protecting water. And so sometimes thinking about the question that you're asking can actually get everybody agreeing with it rather than fighting it. So that's the thing, that's my message really, is as our group we have to think about that, how we pose those questions, how we have those conversations with people, and how we get in front of councillors, because you can do it through committees. You can actually go and do a deputation to a committee, but again, rather than going in with an aggressive way, try and think of how you can actually propose something in a way that they're actually going to start to listen instead of turning off. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to having that conversation with you this weekend. Thank you.